What is up, guys? So for this video, I want to discuss and analyze the emotional response that Chuck's death had on Howard Hamlin and Jimmy McGill during the season premiere of Season 4 of Better Call Saul. Okay, so as we all learned from the first episode of Season 4, Chuck's death clearly affected the two characters who were arguably the closest to him in two completely different manners. In regards to Howard, as many fans, including myself, had speculated would be the case prior to Season 4, it appeared that the aftermath of Chuck's death had a very strong emotional effect on Howard, who following the conclusion of Chuck's funeral, seemed to be on the verge of tears and even went so far as to take personal responsibility for Chuck's death as a result of the plot involving the insurance premiums of HHM. With this being said, however, earlier this episode, prior to the emotional final scene, Howard conversely seemed to be rather steadfast during the planning stages of Chuck's funeral. Using the benefit of hindsight, this resolute demeanor that Howard displayed prior to the aforementioned final scene seemed to be the result of Howard emotionally coping with the loss of Chuck by fully immersing himself in Chuck's funeral preparations. However, once this process was finally completed and Howard could no longer emotionally escape, he then as a result finally broke down to Jimmy and Kim. With this being said, what is incredibly ironic about the personal responsibility that Howard took for Chuck's death in this episode is the fact that Howard's rationale, which caused him to take this responsibility, could certainly also be applied to Jimmy as well, who unbeknownst to both Howard and Kim, caused the insurance premiums of HHM to rise, which resulted in a chain reaction which eventually led to Chuck taking his own life. However, not only did Jimmy seem to take absolutely no personal responsibility for Chuck's death, he also callously and coldly reinforced Howard's notion that he was in fact responsible for causing Chuck to take his own life. Moreover, also unlike Howard, during the planning stages for Chuck's funeral, Jimmy appeared to be rather subdued and introspective, and then almost on a dime, seemed to appear rather joyous once this process was finally over. While we can only speculate as to why Jimmy reacted in this manner prior to Chuck's funeral, I think it's possible that Jimmy had been annoyed by the fact that he had to put on a brave face and keep up with appearances during Chuck's funeral, and then was finally relieved once all the formalities of Chuck's funeral had been completed. Furthermore, while we can also only speculate on and cannot know for certain the reasoning behind Jimmy's statement to Howard, which reinforced Howard's perceived culpability, using the benefit of hindsight, I think Jimmy's rather callous statement to Howard could have been the result of the change in Jimmy's personality that has been steadily and subtly morphing before our eyes in the plot of Better Call Saul, which will eventually lead Jimmy down a path to becoming the outwardly self-centered and insensitive criminal who at many times seemingly only looked out for the interests of himself and could not care less about the emotions of others. So with all of these plot details about this plot involving Howard and Jimmy in the aftermath of Chuck's death, from the season premiere of Better Call Saul being taken into consideration, I will be very intrigued to see what will come next for both Howard and Jimmy this season, especially in regards to what will become of Howard's and Jimmy's emotions moving forward in the plot of Season 4. Moreover, in the grand scheme of things, due to the fact that Howard does not exist in the plot of Breaking Bad, I often wonder what will be the ultimate fate of Howard in the plot of Better Call Saul. With this being said, while we can only speculate on this subject matter, I wonder if the dark and tragic nature of the plot of Season 4 that has been teased to us, in conjunction with how the events of Chuck's death deeply affected Howard during the Season 4 premiere, could hypothetically be foreshadowing that Howard may in fact exit the plot of Better Call Saul in a similar manner as Chuck. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video and are also looking forward to seeing the remaining episodes of Season 4 of Better Call Saul, make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any new videos this season. As always, my name is Anton Jackson. Thanks again for watching.